Like this video in the next 5 seconds, otherwise Spooky Peely will delete all Fortnite skins from your locker. Don't risk it. He'll do it, man, I swear. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Fortnite video. I, of course, am Dr. P, and today we're going to take a closer look at Midas. Personally, I think Midas ranks up there with some of the best storyline characters in Fortnite, and I believe Fortnite still has a long way to go with incorporating him into the story. So in this video, we are going to go over everything we know, some of the stuff you may not know, some of the stuff you may know, but I promise you will learn something. So if you could, please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. That would be much appreciated. And of course, check me out live on Caffeine multiple times every single week, giving away free gifts, V-Bucks skins to you guys. So to start with a brief history of Midas, we know Midas came along in Chapter 2, Season 2 as the leader of the agency. Over the course of Chapter 2, he was building a device in the basement of the agency which was set to break the storm or release the storm, one of those two things. Fast forward a little later into Chapter 2, Season 2, and the device event happened and it fell short of its goal. Midas then was eaten by a shark at the very beginning of Chapter 2, Season 3. Midas was gone for a very long time until just recently with the Fortnitemares updates, he came back as a shadow version of himself. The agency renamed itself into the Ruins, and you can find Midas's shadow drum gun after you kill him. When we saw Midas originally get eaten by the shark, we all speculated whether or not he was alive or whether or not he was dead. Eventually, Donald Mustard went on Twitter and told us that Midas was alive and well, and it turns out that he was right, at least in the form of Shadow Midas returning, coming to claim his revenge. So that's pretty much where we are, and I have always thought that Midas would be a central part of this chapter's overall storyline, and it sure looks like it, as there are multiple different Midas variants available. You've got the OG Midas skin, of course. You've got the Midas Rex skin, which is dropping next month. You've also got the Oro skin, which is basically the undead version of Midas. And now you've got Shadow Midas. 4 different kinds at least this chapter, and each one of them have some key differences which could tell us more into the insight of the future of this season and overall Fortnite. And I found this Reddit post by user Toolbox007. Definitely check him out. He's got some really cool stuff that I've used frequently on the channel, but I do want to show it to you and go over some of the stuff. I'm going to link this post in the description if you want to go check it out, and I'm not going to be reading this word for word because it is quite long, but I am going to hit some of the key points. So it starts off by saying there's a lot of evidence that Midas isn't quite like any other character in the Battle Royale universe. I think there's an argument to be made that he's a man that exists outside of normal time. Take a look at the different versions of him. The first one is Oro. It's Spanish for gold, and it's a part of the Midas's Revenge set with the tagline Golden Treasure and Eternal Obsession. His outfit looks ancient, and saying his obsession is eternal suggests he's not bound by time, and here he's literally the living dead. Next up, you've got the OG Neutral Midas, as the post calls it, and it says everything about this guy screams 1920s, and he looks like he would fit right in walking in the streets 100 years ago. And it's true. He even had a crank-wound gramophone in his office. Next up, you've got Midas Rex, which says it combines the features of the ancient and the 1920s Midas, and what we have looks like a future version. Is he supposed to be a cyborg needing the suit to survive after the shark attack? Maybe. Or maybe this is what he would look like 100 years from now. So basically, it looks like we have a guy that spans over several centuries, and he shows up on the island with a ton of futuristic high-tech spy gadgets to fight against the forces of Shadow. So why would he suddenly flip sides after the device event? To me, it is a little bit weird how the agency, after the device event, which was predominantly a ghost organization, was overrun by Shadow. I'm not sure if Midas himself was planning to do this the whole time and hand it over to Shadow, or if Shadow just sort of overran it after the device event because of the ruins the place was in following the event. Either way, very interesting. The post continues by saying, now this Fortnitemares Shadow Midas has arrived, appearing to have come from yet another reality. One thing we don't know is if this one is actually a part of the story or just something fun added for Fortnitemares. However, in my opinion, I think that things are done for a reason, especially with Fortnite, and we know the history they have and Donald Mustard has of teasing things and making things all connect. A very interesting find with Shadow Midas is the fact that he appears to not be blind in one eye. A signature trademark of Midas has always been a scar over his eye, which of course the skin has, and then his other eye basically completely blind. You can't see a pupil, it's just solid gold. It seems like he's blind, but in the Shadow version of Midas, he doesn't appear to have that. Now, is this simply a cosmetic oversight, or is it intentional? This is the only version of Midas to not appear to be blind in one of his eyes, and with everything going on, like I've just said, I would probably guess that it is intentional, and that it does mean something, because of course we know Midas is a very important character with how many different variants of his skin they put into the game and are planning to put into the game, as well as how much he's been involved with the Chapter 2 story overall, seemingly. Something else that's very interesting that I didn't really think about, but I think could make a lot of sense, is the fact that the purple glow on Shadow Midas seems to look a lot like Kevin, and the post wonders if Kevin had absorbed, reflected, or empowered Midas in some way, resulting in his purple glow. I also think it's worth pointing out that in the original Fortnitemares event back in 2018, Kevin the Cube was destroyed. This is the actual finale event for the original Fortnitemares that destroyed Kevin the Cube at Loot Lake. Coincidentally enough, this was also the same event that we were transported to the in-between, and we managed to have the butterfly event, which was one of the best events Fortnite has ever had, in my opinion. I don't think it's crazy to think that possibly Kevin could have actually empowered or in some way reflected or absorbed the power into Midas, causing him to look the way he does. It's definitely not outlandish, all things considered. Now, this could be a bit of a stretch what I'm about to say, but I wonder if the fact that Midas now at least appears to have clear vision in both of his eyes is a metaphor for him being awoken, or his eyes being open literally and figuratively. And what I mean by that is now he knows his true intentions and is here to finish the job in which he started to the best of his ability. And also, since Fortnitemares 2018 ended with a bang, ended with one of the most memorable events in Fortnite history, I wonder if that could be set to repeat itself here. It would be awesome to have both a Galactus event, which we're 99% sure we're going to have at this point, and also a Fortnitemares ending event, because let's be honest, we have been dry for events here in Chapter 2. We've had one storyline event. Of course, that was the device. We've been accustomed for so long to getting at least one every season, sometimes even two. So I really want to get back to that, at least getting one, maybe two per season. And this would be a great opportunity for them to make up for some lost time and some lost events. Thank you all so very much for watching. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you like what you see and you want to see more. Make sure to come check me out on my caffeine live stream. That would be amazing. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace out.